Hello, my beautiful bearded friends. So today we're going to answer the question, should you use your beard oil before or after straightening? The answer isn't as clear cut as you may think. This video is based on an article on beardgrowingpro.com, so go check that out. I have tons more resources, I have links to science, has everything you need to know about straightening your beard and whether or not the beard oil goes on before or afterwards. And in this video, I'm going to give you a small taster of what's in that article. So go check it out for the full details. All right, let's have a look at this question in detail. If you own a beard, it is almost certain that you'll be using some form of straightening on your beard. And what I mean by some form of straightening is there are a number of ways to do it, and these I think are the most popular three: hair dryers, heated brush, and flat iron straighteners, you know, like the crimpy ones with the ceramic surfaces that you push together. And really, I think the answer to whether or not you use beard oil before or after depends on how you are straightening your beard and which tool you are using out of those three. And so in this video, let's talk about the kind of nuances of each of those, but also the things that you need to take into account when you are straightening your beard, because oil is very different to water, and it can actually cause a fair amount of damage, not only to your hair, but to your lungs as well. All right, so if you're using a blow dryer, like a normal hair dryer, what I recommend is that you put a small amount on after you shower. And I think the reason is because this isn't like an intense treatment. You know, unlike heated beard brushes and the flat iron beard straighteners, this is a lower kind of heat transfer medium. And so what I like to do, and one thing that I've been doing, is I get out of the shower, I towel dry my beard, and then I put on a tiny bit of beard oil, and I straighten my beard. Bloody hell, I can't speak today. Straighten my beard with the hair dryer, and I put it on a relatively high heat, and I go down and I straighten like that. And the reason I've been putting beard oil on before hair sort of blow drying my beard is because I noticed that the oil kind of kept it more kind of nourished and moisturized, and it stops me from over drying my beard, and it seems to lock in the moisture a little bit more. And so yes, I have been using beard oil before straightening, but only when I use a hair dryer, and then afterwards I put on beard balm, which contains a little bit of wax. So that's what I recommend you do if your only method of straightening is with a hair dryer. Now, the flat brush and the heated brush is a little bit different. I've got an awesome video coming up about comparing a $6 brush with a $90 heated beard straightening brush. So go check that out. Remember to subscribe, because then you'll get this video right into your feed. So yes, a heated brush is another popular way of straightening your beard. And once again, it's kind of in between the heat intensity of a blow dryer and a flat iron beard straightener thing with the ceramic sort of surfaces. And so it's really up to you to kind of experiment a little bit at this point. Now, my suspicion is that if you have very curly hair that's hard to control, you may want to put on the beard oil beforehand, and we'll talk about why that is kind of a suggestion in a moment, but really it comes down to the heat transfer. Oil is better at transferring heat from one surface to another. Water's got very high heat capacity, which means it takes a lot of energy to raise the temperature of water. So yes, I feel like there is a place for using beard oil before if you've got one of the heated beard straightening brushes. But at this point, this is where it's that tipping point of maybe the heat is too much if you apply beard oil before. So really it's up to your beard. If you've got a thick, dense, really hard to control beard, try using it before, but maybe you don't need it. And these heated brushes, you know, you can control the temperature to within a few degrees. And so if you're finding that it's drying out your beard, you can just knock down the temperature a little bit, and clearly you don't need that higher temperature. So yes, a heated beard brush, try about both for your beard, but there's also some other consequences of using beard oil before that I'll talk about at the end of this video. So stay around for that, because there are a few things that, you know, can actually cause your beard to become damaged. So the last way of straightening your beard is the most intense way, and it's the flat iron. So you've got two ceramic surfaces that you literally cram together with your beard in the middle, and there is no doubt that this can lead to overheating of your hair. Now, the thing about beard oil is that it is better at transferring heat. So the last thing you want to do is put maximum heat into your beard, because you can cause things like bubbling. You can cause dryness and dullness that causes more breakage, that means that the cuticles, the outside surface of the beard, is damaged, and that sort of like causes the inside to become more weathered. All of that stuff can really happen. So I would recommend that if you're using flat iron straighteners on your beard, that you should not put beard oil on before. And that's because, for, you know, a few reasons, but really it's the high efficiency of heat transfer. So you've got one end, which is the blow dryer, middle, which is the flat, which is the heated brush, and then the other end, which is the flat iron ceramic kind of like surfaces. And it really is the most sort of potentially damaging thing you can do to your beard, is give it a bucket load of heat. Even if your beard is very, very hard to control, it can be difficult to avoid overheating your beard. So yes, those are the three options and kind of the nuances between them. If you should straighten your beard at all is, of course, a question. So go check out my other video where I actually go through all of the things that beard straighteners can do to your beard, and whether or not you should straighten your beard at all. So go check that out, that video, because I think it's so important if you are going to buy a straightener or straighten your beard regularly. Okay, now I'm going to just talk about the things that, the 4 things that I think you should consider if you are going to use beard oil before straightening. It can be actually a little bit dangerous from what I found out in the research. So these are the things that you need to pay attention to or be aware of if you are absolutely set on using beard oil before straightening of any of the methods. The first one, and we've covered it a little bit, is heat transfer. Now, oil transfers heat much better than water. So water has got a high heat capacity, which means it takes a lot of energy to heat it up by 1 degree C, whereas oil has a lower one. And so you can actually end up putting too much heat into your beard, which will cause, in the long run, damage, dryness, dullness, split ends, all of the terrible things, with increased beard fall, which is the last thing we want for your beautiful beards. The second thing is that you will have to clean whatever implement you are using. So the reason I don't mind using beard oil with a hairdryer is the only thing that gets oily is the comb, and that gets oily anyway. So that's not a problem. But the moment that you're using a heated element against your beard, you do have to clean off that heated element, whether or not it's the brush or the flat iron, just because the buildup of oil is potentially dangerous. And the last thing you want is, you know, for an electrical fire or the oil to get inside into the electronics, all of that stuff. It's just not an ideal situation. So you do have to pay particular attention to the type of oil that you're using, but also, just making sure that you're cleaning your implement regularly. Otherwise, it can present a bit of a risk. Now, another thing is that there is a slight risk of a fire, because beard oils are made up mainly of carrier oils, and these carrier oils are like jojoba oil, argan oil, coconut oil. Like, these are bigger kind of components of the beard oil, but each of them has what is known as a flash point. And that flash point is the temperature at which it can spontaneously ignite. Now, for something like jojoba oil, I looked into the research literature and it's about 500 degrees C. Now, your heating irons or whatever it is probably aren't going to get to 500 degrees C, but argan oil and other sort of organic oils can actually be as low as 200 degrees C. Now, it is not unreasonable that your heating tool could get up to 200 degrees C. So if you leave it on, if it doesn't have an auto off, you are increasing the fire risk ever so slightly, because these things can spontaneously combust at about 200 degrees. So, I'm sure you'll be using it much lower temperatures than that, but it is something to consider if you are dead set on using beard oil before you straighten your beard. The last thing that I will say is that in all of the material safety data sheets I looked up for carrier oils, essentially they say that there is an inhalation risk, i.e. do not inhale this stuff. So the thing is, when you're using a heating element, especially the sort of flat irons, against your beard, you can actually produce an oil vapor, which is relatively damaging to your lungs. Now, it's not so bad on the one-off maybe, but if you're doing it every morning, it can slowly build up and cause damage to your lungs, and also set off things like asthma or other respiratory symptoms. So I really don't recommend that if you have asthma and you do use the sort of higher temperature or more heat transferring sort of methods like the brush and the flat iron, that you don't put on oil before, not only because all of the risks I talked about above, but also because you do not want to breathe in this oil vapor. It can be very dangerous. So those are the things I think you should really consider if you are a person who puts on beard oil before they straighten their beard. So there we have it. Please remember to subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to share with you a ton of information, and I've got a really awesome video coming up where I am comparing a $6 straightener to a $90 straightener, and I can't wait to do a 50-50 beard experiment on my beard. It's going to be brilliant. We'll see what happens. Beard straighteners are a tool that people use a lot, and I highly recommend that you approach it with caution but a sense of play, so that you work out what works for your beard. And I think overall I would still put on beard oil after using a high heat treatment straightener like a beard brush or a flat iron thing, because there's some risk associated with damaging my beard if I put it on before. But with a blow dry, it's a much gentler way of straightening your hair, and so I think I'm still going to use it before that. So play about, find out what works well for your beard, but use those as a guide for your starting point. Okay, until next time, have a wonderful day, week, month, whatever it is, and I shall see you in the next video.